Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin. America runs on Dunkin. And if it's time for the High School Notebook, that means it's time for Matt Trabold. Matt, great to have you back.
Thanks for having me back.
So, Matt, we're going to start talking a little bit about Pittsford Mendon basketball, one of the perennial powers in our area. They went out of the area, went west to Buffalo, and had a heck of a game.
Absolutely. So coming into this season, they had a lot to prove, at least early on, because that team a year ago that was so successful, they lost 4 starters from them. That team, they won states. Even better, they won federations, which doesn't always happen for Section 5 teams once they get to that point. So it's a matter of what is going to happen to make sure to still have plenty of success this season. And they started off with plenty of it, won the first 2 games by 30 and then 72 points. And then after that, that game number 3, the competition could not have been higher. You said it a second ago. They have to go to the Buffalo area, so already on the road environment, going up against the Williamsville South team that has all sorts of D1 talent. That includes a UConn commit, 6'6" Amari DeBerry, a top 5 recruit nationally. And it's not just her, they had a bunch of talent around her as well. So it's kind of going as a lot of people might have expected for a Mendon team, trying to figure out who's going to be the leadership. Down 7 points, or I should say, with 7 minutes left, down 9 points. And then Lexi Green and company clawed their way back. Fast forward to 3 seconds left, down 3. The captain, the one captain on the team right now, a senior in Katie Bishoping, she inbounds the ball around the 6'6" defender and gets the ball right back from Lexi Green. In the corner, contested 3, sends it at the horn to overtime. And you know what? Overtime was wild as well. It was back and forth, and then with a minute to go, DeBerry gets a really, seemingly at the time, big injury. She limps off, and then from 15 seconds left, you couldn't write it. She comes back in, limps back in, and on 1 foot hits 2 clutch free throws with that 15 seconds left to win 62-60. The game was a classic.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll talk about another team that has always, they're one of the ones you're going to look for, but let's talk about the Gates-Chili girls.
Yeah, so Sierra Dillard's obviously there a little while ago, but the last couple years, they haven't had it quite. Last year, 7-14, but it seems like Gates is ready this year to have their first winning season since 2016. They seem to have those pieces, and not just to get over 500, but do even a little bit more and see what they do in sectionals. Miriam Abizam, as a sophomore last year, was a star. She was really big in the middle for them, not just for Gates, not just for Monroe County, but the entire section. She averaged 18 points and 14 rebounds a game. But I think the difference this year could be the fact that the guard play and the wing play around her seems to be much, much better. I think one of the most dynamic guards in the section already is that sophomore in Paris Anthony. She can take it and make it from deep confidently, and she has just a lot of poise and a lot of craftiness on the drive scoring as well.
Now, when you talk basketball around here and you talk boys, you can't go too long without talking about East High School. What is it about the Eagles this year that makes them stand out?
Yeah, so talent-wise on paper, they had a very good year a season ago, but it seemed like they're going to be very good yet again because on paper, they still have a lot of talent. They graduated a couple big guys, though, Maurice Coney and Chaz Washington especially, and then Dylan Scott, who transferred back to Penfield for this season. But they're bringing Justice Ross Simmons, who his older brother, Tomas Vasquez Simmons, was a star a little while ago for School of the Arts, and he went on to play at Canisius for D1 ball. He comes in from McQuaid as an underclassman star. So the talent is there, but the question is, at least early on coming in, where's the leadership going to come from? Because Chaz Washington brought a lot of that with him when he graduated. But I think it's just sophomores right now. We're seeing early on, that's what's doing it. And even though they're not super veteran in terms of what is next to their name on the roster, you have a couple sophomores in Ross Simmons and one of the head coach's son, Damani Barley, who are really answering that call in terms of veteran leadership. Damani Barley, he might be the most talented, or at least in terms of improvement from last season, guy in Section 5 as a whole. And they have actually a third starter who's a sophomore in 6'1", Burley Kai McCullough. So a lot of young guys playing like old guys.
All right, great stuff. We'll be back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College right after this.